Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my May update for my classic rolling Project 10 pan. Though I am a fan of all of these fun game style or roulette project pans, I wanted just a classic standard 10 pan to focus on mostly finishing off products or hitting pan on things that are a bit more challenging this year. And I did this last year as well. I do have some rollouts today and hopefully rollouts for next month too. So I'm just excited to chat about my progress. Let's hop right into it. First up, the product that's been in this project for the longest is my Colourpop Creme Gel Liner in Mr Bing. I've only used this 3 times since the last update, bringing me up to a total of 49 uses. This is broken in the packaging, but I did dump it into my hand earlier today and I have about 1 centimeter left and it's pretty dried out now. I really find it hard to get it into my waterline, so I'm really thinking that next month this will be donezo, whether it's completely dried up and unusable or just gets so small it finally falls out of the packaging when I go to put it on my eyes. But this will be good. I've worked on this for years. It's been 49 uses just in this project, and this is not going to be a high value empty, so sometimes it feels a little silly to work so hard on something that costs so little, but I will be happy to reduce my eyeliner inventory. Next I have my Ofra Makeup Fixer setting spray. I've made roughly an equal amount of progress month to month. It's starting to wear off my marks from last year. But I am now down here, slow and steady with this. I use this every time I do my makeup, except for when I am testing out a new foundation. So just keep on chugging along on this. Next, I have my Nars Laguna bronzer. I feel like this is the product that everyone, including myself, is most excited to see. I'll pop in a picture of what this looked like last month and then what it looks like today with 11 additional uses. I asked you guys on Instagram if you had an estimate on how long it would take for me to finish it. A week ago, 2 weeks ago maybe. I've used it 6 times since that post and it's still not gone, but it is so stinking close. Maybe 1 more week of use? I don't know. I feel like I'm working really hard on this. It was a bit thicker in here than I thought it was, but I'm counting down the days, you guys. This will be so good to be an empty. Something that is an empty is my Colourpop Fairy Floss Ultra Glossy Lip. I wore this for 8 days since my last update and was officially able to finish it. I don't know how well you can see, we were down here last time and it still took 8 more days of use to finish it off. There looks to be a little bit in the bottom, but I cannot reach it at all. I did scrape all the walls and I can see clear through the bottom of the packaging when I shine a light in there. So this is officially an empty, which helps my gloss inventory, and I will chat about this more in my makeup rehab series. Another empty to share with you this month is my Juicy Couture Viva La Juicy fragrance. This is the 50 ml size. I've owned this since 2015, I think, and I'm so happy it's gone. It's just not my style anymore, and I feel like I've worked really hard on this for the last year or so, and I'm really excited to add this into my empties for the year. Next, we have the blush I'm trying to hit pan on only. I will insert the picture of what it looked like last month and then what it looks like today after 9 more uses this month. I'm really seeing visual progress on this. It is wearing down pretty evenly throughout the entire pan, so I don't know if I'm going to get a shiny pan right in the center or if we're going to hit pan in a weird spot, but I feel like I can't have that much further to go. Just looking at how thick this packaging is, how thick the metal pan in the center is, I don't think I can just pop it out, but it is getting really low down there. I have 54 tracked uses on this blush and it is only 2 grams of product, and if you can tell, I'm a lover of blush and put quite a lot on each day, so I don't know, is 2 grams of blush a lot? 54 uses. Do you think that gets me near to pan, or do I still have a really long way to go? I'm not sure. I've only hit pan in one blush before. It is a little over 3 grams and it took me over 100 uses, so maybe I'm not as close as I think. Next, I'm trying to finish my oldest primer, which is the NYX Angel Veil. I've only used this 3 times this past month. I've been focusing on another primer to finish, so I have a total of 59 tracked uses on this. It's just a standard 1 fluid ounce size. I'm still having trouble getting it to settle accurately. There is an air bubble in the center, but I can't get it to move up or out. So there is primer like around the edges, and then there's a big air bubble in the center. So even though I store it upright, I've shaken it down, I've tapped it, I just can't get an accurate marking on here. So I guess it's going to be a surprise when I finish this. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't think I'm super close to finishing this, but this is more mattifying, which is going to work even better for me in the warmer months, whereas the other primer I'm using works just fine right now. It's a bit more hydrating than this one, so I'm hoping to finish that one first, then move my attention more fully on this primer. Next, we have a powder I'm trying to finish, which is my Rimmel Stay Matte powder. I will insert a picture of what it looked like last month and then what it looks like today with 14 additional uses. I don't really have a dip. There was more in this powder than I originally thought when I had to repress it because I dropped it, but I am getting pan showing once again in the sides. It was kind of crumbling, but I was like using the powder as it crumbled away, so I'm calling that an actual pan, but I don't have pan in the center yet. My powder is cracking a bit. I think I added a bit too much alcohol when I repressed it, but there's not a ton of visual progress on this month to month anymore, whereas when I had a huge pan, it was really easy to see that I was making progress, and that just feels better than when you don't know if you're doing a good job or not, you know? I have a total of 138 tracked uses on this powder. And does it show me the weight on the back? Because, oh no, I can still see. This has 14 grams of powder in it. And like I said, I've used it 138 times. So more seasoned panners, what do you think? Am I getting close? Am I not? It's so individual as well. I'm more light-handed than many others perhaps. And I don't know. I don't track my progress weight-wise as we go. I just find that too tricky, and I live in a place where it can be super humid, like 90+% humidity, or be really dry depending, and like the humidity levels in the air also plays a role in how much products weigh, and I found it really discouraging to weigh something month to month and discover it has gained weight, even though I have a relatively sensitive scale that I use for sourdough, but it has the decimal points and stuff, and I'm not willing to buy another scale for panning purposes. Only 2 more products to go, and then we can roll some new things in. First, I have my Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in KathleenLights that I'm trying to finish off. I will insert a picture of what it looked like last month, and then what it looks like this month after 6 additional uses. A total of 11 since rolling it into this project. It's been in projects before, it already had a pan in it, and I think the pan has expanded just a tiny bit, but for the 6 uses, I did focus in the center to clean up the pan today, but I have been focusing on the edges to try and wear those down because they were still very high. So for 5 of the 6 uses, I was focusing on the edges, which is harder to see visually. And then today I cleaned up that center pan a bit when I used it. I still really don't have the highest hopes that I can finish this by the end of the year, but I really love this color so much. I want to use as much of it as I can. And lastly, I have my Kosas Revealer Concealer. I used this 9 times this past month for a total of 62 uses. Now this is not settled as well as it could be because it had fallen over in my everyday makeup bin, so it's looking higher than it was last month, so I'm going to let this settle, and hopefully by the time I'm editing I can insert a picture. If not, we'll catch up next month. But I don't think I've made a ton of visual progress this past month. I just feel like the windowing hasn't really moved that much, though I can see it's settling a bit lower. It just doesn't seem as much as previous months, though. I mean, I did use it less this past month, but not by such a big amount. Like maybe only 3 to 5 uses difference. I don't know. I do want to finish this before it goes bad because I know that this is the concealer likely to expire first in my collection. But we have 2 products rolling out, which means I'm rolling 2 products in. I decided to roll in like for one of the items and then something completely different for the other one, just based on what I'm working on in other project pans. So for my Juicy Couture Viva La Juicy perfume, I had a look at my fragrance inventory and chose something that was also very, very old, but was more of like a springy scent. And this doesn't even have a label on it anymore, but this is a Dove body mist, and this is actually the purple one, though I have a green cap that is broken on the top here. I won this in a baby shower game a long time ago, probably 7 years. I'm not sure. It still smells fine. It is about halfway gone, and it is a very floral, sweet spring fragrance. And as it's a body mist, I can like reapply a bit more often. So I'm going to mark this, and my goal will be to finish this, of course. And then when I finished my Colourpop Fairy Floss gloss, I had a look at my 24 makeup products I wanted to pan in 2024, and I'm trying to finish a gloss in 2 other project pans. So I didn't want to add a third gloss that I was really trying to finish. I also feel like I'm working on quite a few other lip products already, so I went with a foundation that was on that list because I am feeling like I'm nearing the end on one of my other foundations, and I just want to get some more use on this before I'm too tanned, though I do plan on making this work through the summer as well. But this is the Physicians Formula The Healthy Foundation in the shade LW2. This is really stuck to the walls because I have 50 tracked uses. This is a standard 1 fluid ounce foundation, and I typically can use up a regular size foundation in between 100 to 130 uses. So hypothetically, I should be like a third to halfway done this foundation. But the only spot I see air gaps is right where it has the in the Healthy Foundation, like pretty near the top. So that is where I'm going to mark it. This foundation does have that really giant applicator, which I'm sure takes up quite a bit of space in here, but I was still shocked when I had this settling that that's where it's showing my progress. And when I shine a light through it, I can't really see anything. So I don't know, I can't believe I've only made that much progress in 50 uses. So we'll see. We'll see if there's any visual progress on this as we go, but my goal will be to finish this. I feel pretty good about this update, so I'm a bit low energy today. I'm so very tired. We had a very busy weekend. For the next update, I do plan on having 2 rollouts. The Colourpop eyeliner and the Nars Laguna bronzer, of course. I keep saying I want this to be an empty, but it's so stinking close. I don't know why I can't just get it done. I have been wearing makeup a smidge less than I have been throughout this year, but I'm going to pick up the pace and try and get some more empties because I have been having empties in projects a bit more consistently right now. I feel like I have found my stride with panning right now. It's just really motivating to keep going. But yes, I'm gonna stop rambling. Thank you so much for watching my project pan update. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up so that I know, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!